Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to this edition of our program, Parents Pride. I'm still your host, Temi Ajelowo. You're welcome to this edition. You remember, Bible says children are the heritage of the Lord, and it simply means children are God's property, temporarily kept under the custodian of parents. So they are still God's. Come around if you're a parent. And if you intend being a parent, you're welcome. Let's look into this topic briefly. Um, why are children more victims of molestation? There's a global record that says that in every 9 girls, there is one of them abused. And in every 53 boys, one is abused. And when you look at this figure, and it's something that happens on a daily basis, then you begin to wonder where is the world going to. So briefly, I want to bring our attention to a few things that will help us to protect our children from this terrible menace. The first thing is that you have to learn to avoid what is called family gap. When there's a loophole in a family, you try as much as possible to avoid it. I call uh, communication gap or communication distance in a family as family gap, and that has created a lot of problem more than we all know. And because if there is a gap in communication in a family, you can agree with me that a lot of things will stop automatically. Praying together will stop, studying together will stop, and even brainstorming concerning things that affect the family, perhaps the education of the children, perhaps welfare, or perhaps just looking at things generally and see how you can keep your family above the waters. All of such will stop because there is a gap, because of disagreements between father and mother or between parents and children. That is what I call family gap. It's such a terrible acid that has eaten up a lot of family. So try as much as possible to avoid family gaps in your family. Even if there are little disagreement, misunderstanding in the family, ensure they don't get to time where you no longer come together as one, you no longer speak as one, you no longer have one mind. It's always a very terrible situation. Then secondly, I want you to understand that there are basic things, there are basic situations that expose children to molestation. The first one is divorce. When the parents are not together, I can assure you that the attention of the child is divided and they can't have equal supply from the parents. So that's the first one. Then the second one is death. When either or both parents are dead, the children are exposed also to molestation, especially if there are no responsible people to take up their care. The third one is poverty. Poverty has created a lot of problem in the sense that a lot of people will have to take their children to a third party to trade for them, family members, relations, and some nice people to just help them. And fourthly, distance parenting. Distant parenting, for instance, when you no longer have direct access on a daily basis to train your children, for instance, maybe a child is in boarding school, a child is my 12 and where you are in my 2, all of such, they create holes and they create gap in parenting. So I'm sure you have learned a few things this afternoon. Thank you so much.